really fun group of kids that I've coached. Sometimes they've been overshadowed by kids that maybe had a lot more physical talent, but these are the kids that stuck with gymnastics. They've worked hard and they've gotten better. I know last year I sat up here and I said how wonderful that group of seniors were. Well, I kind of lied. They were a little bit wild, and these guys are actually the group that I really like to coach, and that they've made good decisions, they've gotten better, and they're just really good kids. Next year, I promise I won't. First kid I'll talk about is JD also. JD came to us about 7 years ago from Massachusetts. He's kind of a quiet kid in the gym, but he's always that kid that has a really funny thing to say under his breath, or, he just is real quick-witted. So, he's real self-sure of himself. I make fun of him about his hair, and he just, whatever, and, I'm always like, JD, you look awful with your hair like that. He don't listen to me. But he's just one of those kids that comes in, he works out, he's funny, he's just a cool, eclectic music. He's just a great kid to be around. And he brings a lot of joy to our gym, and we're going to miss him a lot. He's going to Indiana next year. JD Alsop is a great kid. Next one, we're going alphabetic, is Alex Dumstorf. Alex came to us about 2 years ago. He's from Louisville, Kentucky, and his coach left their gym to move to Chicago. So he kind of didn't know what to do. So he decided to come up to Cincinnati and train with us. And I don't know if anyone knows, but Louisville's about 120 miles from our gym. So him and another teammate drive up a couple times a week and stay on the weekends and train with Queen City. So it's not the most ideal situation, but it's been working. It's amazing that a parent and a kid would kind of do that for their kid and put that trust in us, and we take, and it means a lot to me that his parents would do that. All the parents, it means a lot to me that you let me coach your kid, but especially to put that much energy into it. And he's a wonderful kid to have. He's phenomenal on pommel horse. You didn't kind of see it today. And next year he'll be going to UIC and competing for them at University of Illinois Chicago. About 7 years ago, we were at Winterfest, and there's these two kids and their coach was sick, and they didn't come up. And so, I was a meet director, and they said, hey, can you watch this group? And so I said, sure. So I coached this group, and it was Brandon, and he did good. And then 4 years later, all of a sudden he shows up at our gym. He was a little behind because he took some time off, and he's just gotten a lot better. He's a wonderful kid to coach. He's one of those kids that smiles no matter what. Sometimes I get mad at him, if it's on high bar especially, and I yell at him, or I yell at someone else, and he just laughs. And he's not laughing because he's disrespectful. He's more laughing because he kind of gets it. It is just a sport, and it is supposed to be fun. And so it's always good to see when he's there and I'm mad at a kid and look at him and him just smiling and being happy to realize, you know what, it is a sport. Why ruin our life over it? It's just for fun. So hopefully someone else will remind me that, or Noah and Michael Chan will have a really hard year next year. Brandon is also going to go to UIC for gymnastics, so Brandon Jones. Next kid is Jake Paul. Jake teaches classes at our gym. He shows up early to do practice. He's just one of those really nice, good kids. The kids are always at his house, always at Paul's house. To be honest, when he was in compulsory kid, and I looked at him and he went in my group, and I thought, oh, I'll probably never get that kid. Because he wasn't the most flexible, he wasn't the most great in the air, But then all of a sudden he just started getting better and better and better, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe, because he's a kid that has a heart, and he wants it. And he comes in every day, and he works his butt off. He cares. He comes in early. And it's just been amazing to watch him grow. Because he went from a compulsory kid that I didn't think nothing would happen, to this year, he's going to be representing the United States at the Maccabee Games in Israel. So, Jake Paul. Okay, who's next? Oh. You know when Mike was up here and he was talking about that scrawny little 6-year-old and stuff, like it was just yesterday? Kind of still is. John is that kid that I always pick on. You know, there's always got to be one for me that I just make fun of. If I'm in a good mood, I pick on him. If I'm in a bad mood, then I go to John and I pick on him more. And he just comes back, and he likes it, and you know, and he just works, and and he's just such a great kid. Of all the kids I've ever coached, he's one of my favorite kids, just because he's happy, he cares. You know, he gives it back a little bit, but not too much. He's just a nice, good kid. And he's also a good gymnast. Last year he qualified at JO Nationals. He's been a level 10 for a long time. You know, he does some phenomenal gymnastics, and I'll miss him a lot. John Schroeder.